Okie dokie. Another month, another 2 runs of Spiral Abyss. This one, obviously, the one for November 1st. And as you can see on the screen, we have ourselves the 4th Archon, the lovely god of wisdom, Nahida! Woohoo! She is awesome. I really wish that MiHoYo would let us exchange different weekly boss mats for other ones, like, Andreas boss mats for the new bosses stuff, because I got a lot of the doggy boss mats, but I can't get I can't get Nahida all the way up because I only have 2 of the boss mats from the Scaramouche fight, and it's irritating. Just come on. I understand you want to incentivize doing the new bosses. I get that. I really, really do get that. But you are hurting new players who come in, and you're just frustrating the crap out of your old players. They're not going to listen. It doesn't matter. Well, this is me being an idiot in a way, because I'm trying to come up with the best team composition for Nahida and balancing her elemental bursts buff, where if you get pyro, you increase your damage. If you have electro, if you have pyro in the team, you increase your damage. If you have electro in the team, you decrease the internal cooldown of her Trikarma purification. If you have hydro, you increase the length of the burst. And I'm trying to balance all that, and honestly, I shouldn't be. This is floor 9. It doesn't matter. But, put that aside. Put my weird obsession. Anyway, I was trying to showcase her a little bit and see what she could do, so I ended up just taking way too long on this, and I was thinking that while I was doing this, just sitting there going like, why am I taking so long to do this? It's just floor 9. And then I kept taking long. And part of the reason why it took so long is because I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted to have 2 of one element or not. And to try and get rid of that, I went and tried to get, after this, I went and tried to get Nahida C1, because that's when it starts to open up, and you can have like 1 pyro, 1 electro, and 1 hydro, or whatever, and it counts instead of 1 of that element, it counts 2. But I got Kuching instead, which annoys the crap out of me just a wee bit, because I never use Kuching. On the plus side, it means that I'll be getting Wanderer, period, and I'm okay with that. I am technically okay with that, because I do want Wanderer. I want all the Fatui that I can get. That's how this works for me. I am, first and foremost, Archons. Archons are the best. I will get every Archon, and then I want to get every Fatui, Harbinger. So those are the ones I actively try to collect. I have all 4 Archons, and I have a child. I will be getting Wanderer. Everyone else is just nice to have, fills out team slots, whatnot, but no, it's Archons and Harbingers. They're the fun ones. And especially, I'm hoping, we don't know if we will get them or not, but I am hoping to get Dottore and Colombina and Piero, because, and this is spoilers, if you haven't done the Archon quest all the way through, I apologize, but on the minor side, it's not that big of spoilers. Those 3, the 3 top Harbingers, are supposed to have power equal to that of the gods. So that would be Piero, Dottore, and Colombina, which does beg the question. So those 3 have the powers of the gods, and we don't know who 4, 7, and 11 are yet. Which, okay, that's unfortunate, but life's life. We're gonna learn who we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn about it as we go. So my question there becomes, if those um, if those three are so powerful, how powerful, like how much more powerful than Capitano are they? Because um, there's been like Varka has intimated that he is terrifying, and my guess. So we know all. We're only missing three. We know all the others. My guess, based off of what people have said, is that Capitano is 4. Sandron is because he seems to be so powerful, and he's Tartaglia said that he's really high up because he mentioned maybe he doesn't have time, or maybe he's not interested in dealing with somebody as low as me. So that implies that the gap is rather large. And 7 and 11, thusly 11 definitely wouldn't, or 10. No, yeah, 10. I meant 10 earlier. I said 11. 10. No, child is 10. Our child is 11. 10. We don't know 4, 7, and 10. My bad. So 11 or 10 obviously can't be it. 7 seems not that much different. There's only 4 places in between. So my guess is that Capitano is 4. So, and Varka has intimated that Capitano is strong enough to like kill a rune guard with a crayon. Now, obviously, he's probably exaggerating a little bit, but still, it's intimated that he's pretty strong, which, begs the question, how much stronger are Dottore, Piero, and Colombina if Capitano is only at most 4? Also, how strong is, or what the hell is, what makes whoever is 4, which again I'm pretty sure it's Capitano, but if it isn't, if it's actually Sandron or Arcello, I think Arleciano. There we go, I got the right. Arleciano. What the hell kind of power do they have to rival the admittedly weakened Witch of the Crimson Witch of Flame, and a divine puppet? Like, what makes those? What makes number 4 stronger than those two? And while we're on that subject, makes them stronger than Pulcinella, who is apparently the same, who seems to be the same race as Clee and Alice, who are in and of themselves terrifying, magically powerful beings of who knows what level of fuckery. So let's just set that aside. Where's that going? Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing just how, I really want all the Fatui Harbingers, and I want to know just how powerful the top 3 are, because if they're on the level of gods, and possibly maybe one of them is a god, maybe Colombina is a god, just masquerading as a human, that would make sense. She's supposed to be, like Tartaglia Child said, there's something off about her. Maybe that's what it is. And if she is a god, then that works out perfectly for me, because then I'll have the 7 Archons plus 1 other extra god, and then I can have 8 gods on my Spiral Abyss teams, and it'll be working. It'll be pretty, yay! That's something I'd want, but that's just a wee dream. Anyway, yeah. So basis is that I want all the Harbingers, I want all the Archons, that's what I go after, and I will be getting another one come next patch. Assuming he comes out next patch. I mean, I'm pretty sure he comes out next patch. They hinted at him, they put up the little splash art. He should be coming out next patch. I don't know why he wouldn't, but maybe they'd find a way to delay him, who knows. But we'll be getting one. We're getting Scaramouche. He might not have his divine powers, but, whatever. He's an Animo character. Animo is the strongest element. It works out. I wonder how they're gonna make him different than all the other characters, all the other animal characters, because we've got the CC twins of Venti and Kazuha. We got, and also actually it's a triplet. To be fair, Sucrose is pretty good to add it too. And then we've got the more attack focused, like beat them up style of Heizo and Xiao, and then we've got Sayu and Jean who provide healing and support. And I know putting those two in the same category is kind of weird because they're really not the same characters, but they do both provide healing, and that's really about it, honestly. But whatever, it doesn't matter. So I do wonder how they're going to make, what they're going to do with Skara to make him different. Have they released what his weapon is yet? I don't remember. Oh, well, we'll have to see. Anyway, Sumeru is the Archon quest is finally over. Fuck the academia. I honestly do wish that Nahida had been a little less merciful. I would have been more than happy for her to have killed Azar. I guess because Ruka Devata's memory was wiped away, it took a little bit of the sting away. I don't know why it would, but maybe that's what did it. But anyway, no, it's just, way too nice, way too friggin' nice. Exile is, Exile is, even putting them in prison forever would have been better than Exile, in my opinion. Because then, Exile, okay, no, they're not, they're stuck in the Avidia Forest. Ooh, they can still have a really decent, happy life. I want them to suffer. I want them to be caged like she was, if they're going to be a nice, merciful, sentence. No, it's so pissed off. I hate those people. Horrible, horrible people. And I would have loved to have seen a cutscene of Sino beating the living crap out of Azar. That would have just made my day. But, I'm slightly sadistic, so maybe I should tone that down. I don't know. That just, horrible, horrible people. And yeah, I know, it's a game. It's a game. I shouldn't be giving, it's not like they're really, like a real person would suffer this. Although I'm sure some people, that there have been some real people who have suffered and stuff like this. But yeah, no, this situation, it's a game. I shouldn't be getting so worked up over it. But whatever. Although it does give me pleasure just to think of what would happen if A ever came for, and I know it won't happen anymore because the memory of Ruka Devata is gone, so everyone thinks that Nahida was Ruka Devata. So she's got a lot more respect, so it's unlikely that anyone would just would start insulting her. But I just imagined, I enjoy imagining the concept of A coming for a visit to Sumeru and getting along swimmingly with Nahida, which, based off of her voice line, she probably would, and just somebody insulting Nahida within earshot of A, and then, oh, that makes me happy. Just the image of the facial expression, the pure terror that that person would face with when A drew her sword. Just that makes me happy inside. Anyway, that's me being a little gushy, and it would never happen. But I like Nahida. I like the story was wonderfully well done. Very different in some aspects to um, the other ones. Much more, a lot of dialogue, a lot kind of Ocean's 11y, very mind, which very mental. It's a very big mental game, which makes sense because this is, the god of wisdom and all that. But yeah, it was pretty well done story. I did have a problem with all the flashbacks. I mean, I get it why they did it narratively. I understand, and it was well executed and all that. But while I was playing, I was just like, okay, moving along, please. Can we hurry this up? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I want to get to the good stuff. So it was mostly just me being impatient than any narrative problem. But that's just whatever. That's my only gripe, and it's a me gripe, not a them gripe. So, now that we have, we have 3 Dendro characters, and that's not enough for us to get a definitive understanding of the element yet, in my opinion, because like, let's take Hydro, for example. Almost all Hydro characters create a construct of water of some kind. So, Kokomi makes the little jellyfish, Mona makes the astrological gizmo thingy-mabobical, Tartaglia makes weapons, Ayato makes his water clone and then makes a sword of water, and then also makes water swords rain down around him. Barbara makes a water ring of musical notes. Everybody makes some sort of water construct. Some of them last longer than others, admittedly, yes, but all in all, there's a water construct of some kind. And most of them run on HP. Now, admittedly, I'm pretty sure we're going to get, that's easy enough. Most Dendro characters are going to run off some sort of EM. But that's not what I'm getting at here. So, meanwhile, you got Electro, where almost all the characters can provide consistent electro damage in some way or form. So you've got A with the Stormy Eye of Judgment, Beidou with her Elemental Burst, Traveler with his Elemental Burst too, while we're on the subject. Most of them with their Elemental Burst, honestly. Just like there's some way that they constantly apply Electro. Most of them off-field, except for Razor. The actually only character that doesn't apply multiple instances of Electro is Sarah. Actually, technically she does, but it's different than the others because it's all at once, whereas the other ones are over time. Like how Razor technically, like almost Official A, Dory, Beidou, Electro Traveler, Shinobu, all of them provide electro damage over time, even when they're off-field. Razor does provide electro damage over time, but only when he's on-field, and Sarah provides multiple instances of electro damage, but all at once with her burst. She's just there to amplify other electro characters. So the point I'm trying to make here is that when you have Electro, it's all about multiple instances of electro damage proccing over time, usually, for the most part. With Hydro, it's all about creating a construct of water. With Geo, it's all about shields and protection, and in most cases, creating a construct of Geo. I don't think we're at a point where we know enough about Dendro to be able to figure out what all the other characters should be able to do yet. Because so far we've got a field of Dendro damage and a boomerang, that's Kale, multiple instances of... The only thing we can say is that they all do multiple instances of Dendro, but that might just be because of Dendro's elemental reactions favoring that. So, we don't know full well what the other Dendro characters will be able to do. So like Kaveh, like Alhaitham, like um, Yao Yao whenever she comes out. So it's just I'm just guessing based off what limited information we have. They're all going to do multiple instances of Dendro somehow, but I don't know. We're not quite sure. That said, I am interested to see how what they're gonna I don't know what they're gonna do yet. I don't know. There's no real information on it yet. I just want to see what they're gonna do with assuming they release him. Baizu. I want to see how they're gonna provide his kit, because I'm assuming he's gonna be a healer. He'll probably be the first Dendro healer. He's a doctor. It makes sense that he's a healer. So I just want to see what they're gonna do for Dendro healing. It should be interesting. And that was a very long way to get into that subject point, but whatever. I got 38 minutes to kill. Rambling is par for the course. Anyway. Also, now we know the demon name of the, it's a demon name, because I looked it up. Focalors is a demon name, so it's like Baal, like Morax, like Barbados, like Burr, or Boar. Boar. It's a demon name, so we know the demon name for the Hydro Archon, which is Focalors, and we know her personality, which we knew her personality beforehand. We just got confirmation from an Archon, and her personality is that she is very unique and kind of hysterical, big personality, yada yada yada. So I've done two videos on these subjects already, but I'm just going to go over them here just for the time's sake. For her motivations, my best guess is that she is doing a performance of some kind. She's either guilty she either did something bad in her past and is guilty of it, and she's trying to distract everybody from her guilt by being judgmental towards others, or she is scared to death of Celestia and wants to put up this front of being for lack of a better term, company man, and as a result of this, it makes her be kind of petty with her own laws, So, like, you've got the divine principles, which are the laws of Celestia, and so she is trying to prove that, yes, I understand laws are important. See, look at how I put all these laws in place in my country and make sure that they're followed to the letter, and then I punish severely anyone who doesn't. So that's also a possibility, is that she sees the laws, she sees a Celestia as a threat and wants to make sure that they don't bother her. Also, technically, there's a third option where it's actually both of them. So, like, she went to Conria, all the other Archons. We don't know how old Focalor is. She could have taken a position after the Archon, or after the Cataclysm of Sumeru. She could have taken it before. We don't know. We technically don't know, because while it said that Nahida was the youngest, that did not mean that Focalor did not exist before the Cataclysm. She could be 600 years old and be like the daughter of the previous Hydro Archon or something like that. And then the Hydro Archon died in the Cataclysm and Focalor took over. Or she could have been the Hydro Archon at the Cataclysm, saw the horror that they did onto the people of Conria, and felt that guilt, and felt that terror of seeing what happens when you piss off Celestia and just went bonkers because of it. That is also an option. Now, that is the first topic. I did a video on that. The second topic is what I think should be in her kit. And what I think should be in her kit is mimics. Not necessarily like the boars and the squirrels and the finches and the cranes that are summoned by the waterfish boss, or the dolphins dancing around that you get from the water box. Although those would also be cool, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, solid, in air quotes, water masses that attack with her and move around of their own volition, be it with an AI or they just follow her or something. Not a stationary construct, but an actual hydro-mimicky type thing that attacks with her. Or even if it doesn't attack with her, like, let's say it's on her elemental burst. She summons, I don't know, she summons 3 water soldiers of Fontaine. So they look like soldiers. They got little spears and crap, and they're made out of water. But her elemental skill is a slash of water on a target that marks them. And whoever has a mark, that's who the soldiers attack. And they will follow this person around and attack it, and yada yada, so on and so forth. So that is an option too. Or she could, and that's just one option of what she could summon. She could also summon clones of herself. She could summon clones of the party. She could summon clones of the enemies. Like, just imagine you gather up a bunch of foes, and then you use her ability, and then she summons Lala Churls and Sissin Mages and Fatui Ice Fuckers, or an Abyss Herald. All doable. But in any event, that's what I think her an aspect of her ability should be, is the creation of mimics of some kind, because it would fit with all the other Hydro characters, because they all create something out of water. It would, depending on how they structure the mimics, it could provide versatility. Like, she could have some mimic, like the mimics could do all manner of different things, like heal or provide buffs of some kind. And in some case, if she were to summon mimics of whatever enemy she's fighting, it would make narratively thematic sense, because she would be summoning their reflections to fight them, so they would be fighting themselves and fighting their guilt or sins, or that kind of stuff. It's just an interesting concept, in my opinion, and I think that it should fit with the Hydro Archon. It would make perfect sense. And it would be something new, because we do have Hydro characters that attack in tandem. We have Xingqiu and Yelan, who have an ability that attacks in tandem with the active character, but they both do it by summoning weaponry of some kind that are gone, that are almost as soon as they're summoned. This would be a similar thing, but it would be a novel way to do it, because they stay on the field and attack with you, and they move around, which is something that none of the other summons do. Amber's Baron Bunny, Zhenglin's Goba, who else is there that has a summon? Ito's Ushi. Kale's, I can't remember, the cat thing. All of those summons don't move. They're stuck in one place. Admittedly, the cat thingy bounces around, but it's stuck in that one area that you drop it in. I'm wanting the Hydro Archon's water summons to move. Whether they move with her, or whoever the active character is, because obviously I'm thinking that they would stay on the field when she swips out, so they would move with whoever the active character is, or they would have their own AI. And we've already seen in Sumeru that the game can have it does support the concept of allies, because we had Jet and her dad helping us out during the Golden Slumber quest, and they had their own AIs, so it is well within the concept of the game to do this. So I think that the Hydro Archon should have summons. That's just my 2 cents. That's just what I think. If anyone actually watches these videos and you agree, disagree, leave a comment. Let me know. This part of the reason, one of the big reasons I started this channel was for discussion. Admittedly, there hasn't been much discussion because nobody watches these videos. But hey, maybe somebody will one day. And in case, I'm all for discussion. I like talking about this game. It's fun for me. Half the reason to play is for the speculation and the theory crafting. So many explosions. You just love to see it. Also, I have done a test, and when properly buffed, Nahida's burning damage is about 3,000 per tick. It's about 8 ticks. Let's go with 7 ticks per application. So that's 21,000 damage within like a second and a half. That's pretty good in my opinion. I know burning is the least powerful of the dendro-based reactions, but it's still pretty decent. It's not horrible when you do it right. It just you just have to do it right. It's really hard to. But yeah, no. And then and you can get more than one application in while properly buffed too. So you can get like 2, maybe 3 if you're lucky. So that's at the most 63,000 damage within 4.5 seconds. Well, within internal cooldowns, so about 6 seconds. That's not terrible. That's really not terrible. Okay. Time for I'm assuming that this is going to change soon, because we've had I can never say the word. It starts with a B. The water bishops. For like 2, this is like the 3rd run in a row. So hopefully we're gonna get a new thing soon. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be either, but I'm hoping it's soon, because they're not hard, but I'd rather not deal with them. And well, actually, yeah, no, I don't want to deal with them, and I'd like something else besides the triangle robot, big triangle. I say this, and what's next? They're gonna bring a fucking rune serpent, and I'm just gonna cry because I hate that fucking thing.
Hold the line.
Stabilize. Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
Take flight.
Order guide you.
worst rune-based boss. Even the new rune stuff, like the Blight Drake and hell, even the triangles, if you want to call them. No, they're not rune-based. They're maybe they are. They're Scarlet King. They're from the Scarlet King, but he got a lot of forbidden knowledge, and he could have gotten that forbidden knowledge, and he supposedly got that forbidden knowledge from the Abyss. And since the Abyss is tied with Conria, maybe the technology is in the same line as the Ruin bosses, Ruin enemies. But let's put that aside and just say the Drake, the Blight Drake. It's nothing compared to the stupid Rune Serpent. The Rune Serpent is, oh my god, it's horrible. It's not even like it's not specifically the mechanics, like what the Rune Serpent does, its attacks, or how you stun it. Although, to be fair, there is some annoyance because it can be hard to hit those glowing patches on its back when it does the spinny. No, it's the fact that it spends so much frigging time underground. So you're sticking this thing that constantly keeps going untargetable into a fight where there's a time limit. That's just mean.
Shine down. Inazuma shines eternal.
Anyway, that's me. That's my bitch about the stupid Rune Serpent. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
This way, eternal. There is no escape. Torn to oblivion. Everybody stand. Make yourselves at home. Everyone hold hands. Shine down.
Even if this thing counts as a ruin boss, the fact that you can just knock it out of its invisibility, and you can find it with Nahida, you just have to use her hold, and you look around, and it will mark the thing. That is also really helpful. So, yeah, no, that thing compared to the Rune Serpent is shit. Rune Serpent's horrible. I hate that stupid thing. Anyway. If I recall correctly, these are all... there's actually some decent ones. Nothing that I can use, but decent. So we got Duality Hat, Green Feather, Green Hat again. That one was meh. That one was possible, I think. Don't remember that one. And then that one was shit, I think. No, that's attack. That one was good. So, yeah, they were passable. Anyway, if you like this, please like and subscribe. Have a good rest of your day. Bye!